What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Bucs Latest here on the Fan Arch Network. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for Go Bucs fans and Bucs Nation, it's your time. Remember, like and subscribe to Bucs Latest podcast here on the Fan Arch Network every day, 11 a.m. on YouTube, daily Tampa Bay Buccaneer content. And, of course, the newest Facebook page, Bucs Latest. So let's go ahead and get into it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers made it official as they have their new play-by-play man, and Tony Castricone, the veteran broadcaster with more than 2 decades of experience. He spent the past 9 years at the University of Washington's Director of Broadcasting, which included handling radio play-by-play for the school's football and men's basketball teams. He was also the voice of Clemson's men's basketball team from 2014 to 2017 and worked more than 7 years with IMG Academy. Again, 2 decades of experience, according to Buccaneers.com. He's going to replace Gene Deckerhoff after 37 years. Gene retired last year. This is what Buccaneers Chief Operating Officer Brian Ford had to say. Following a comprehensive nationwide search, we are thrilled to welcome Tony to the Buccaneers. Tony distinguished himself through his professionalism, preparation, passion, and ability to connect with audiences. He understands the responsibility that comes with the role and possesses the talent and authenticity to build meaningful relationships with Buccaneer fans for years to come. This is what Tony had to say. It's an honor of a lifetime to be entrusted with this extremely rare opportunity and this one-of-a-kind role with this fantastic franchise. I'd like to thank the Glazer family and everyone I met with during the interview process for their confidence in my abilities and for allowing me to live out this dream. I also like to congratulate Gene Deckerhoff on an iconic 37-year run. There will never be another Gene, and I'll miss hearing his larger-than-life voice on game days. The thought of following in his legendary footsteps is humbling and exhilarating. My family and I cannot wait to be Buccaneers, to be Floridians, and to meet as many members of the crew as possible. So there you go, Bucs fans. What do you think? New play-by-play man, Tony Castricone. Put the comments there in the box on Bucs Latest here on the Fan Arch Network. Now let's go ahead and move on to the second story of the day here on a Wednesday. And this from CBSSports.com. You know I like these polls here. The best and worst case outcomes for all 32 NFL teams, and of course, they mentioned the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the best case is following an 8-9 season that saw Tampa Bay's 5-season playoff streak and 4 straight division titles come to an end. The Buccaneers get back on track. Even with Mike Evans gone, the passing game, spearheaded by Baker Mayfield, is strong, especially with Emeka Egbuka making a year 2 leap for the ages. He becomes the new go-to weapon on offense, while rookie pass rusher Reuben Bain Jr. and rookie linebacker Josiah Trotter help usher in a new era on defense. Tampa Bay takes back the NFC South and returns to the playoffs. That's the best case scenario. What do you think, Bucs fans, about that? Do you think that's more likely to happen? Put the comments there in the box on Bucs Latest here on the Fan Arch Network. Now, of course, the worst case scenario for you pessimists out there, you know who you are. The second half struggles from Baker Mayfield, 14 touchdowns, 10 interceptions over his final 11 games in 2025, persist in 2026. The young pieces the Buccaneers were hoping would rise up like Egbuka and Bain Jr. aren't ready for the responsibility just yet. That allows the rest of the division to continue closing the gap, with Atlanta and New Orleans both catching lightning in a bottle in their respective quarterback rooms. For the second straight year, the Buccaneers missed the playoffs, putting Todd Bowles' job firmly at risk. Bucs fans, what do you think the likelihood of that happening? Put the comments there in the box on Bucs Latest here on the Fan Arch Network. You know where I go with this. I go with the more positive side instead of the negative. But again, go ahead and put those comments in the box here on a Wednesday. So let's go ahead and move on to 3 players who could actually win awards. This from our friends from the Pewter Plank. Makes lots of sense. Reuben Bain Jr. for Defensive Rookie of the Year. It says the Buccaneers are expecting big things out of their first-round rookie. The team has been desperately searching for a dominant pass rusher, and it hasn't had a player reach double-digit sacks since 2021. Wow. Bain could be the savior in Tampa Bay, A standout rookie season would not only completely transform the Bucs defense, but it would catapult him into consideration for the Defensive Rookie of the Year honors. Chase Young won the award back in 2020 with 7.5 sacks. Will Anderson won it with 7 sacks in 2023, and Jared Verse was crowned Rookie of the Year with only 4.5 sacks in 2024. Bain is more than capable of replicating those numbers recorded by past winners. If he can prove to be a disruptor and generate pressure the same way he did in college, he'll be a front runner for the Defensive Rookie of the Year award. So do you think that's more likely to happen? Put the comments in the box. 1 to 10, Bain Jr. winning Rookie of the Year. I'll tell you right now, I'll go 7 or 8 on this because I definitely think there's more of a possibility for him to win Rookie of the Year because of not only his skills, but also the big chip on his shoulder when it comes to Bain Jr. falling 14 spots to 15 to the Bucs. I think he wants to let everybody know, those 14 teams in front of the Bucs, that they made a big, big mistake. All right, let's go out to the next award. That would be Tristan Wirfs Protector of the Year. And, of course, what they have to say. The NFL Protector of the Year award was only established last season. The first ever winner was Bears guard Joe Thuney. But Wirfs essentially ineligible after missing 5 games. And I talked to him last year. This was important to him. So you could have a comeback here. Needs to have a comeback here. Solidify that line, especially on the left side. If Wirfs can stay healthy and play the entire season, he's a lock to be a finalist for the award. It's an honor that has his name written all over it. Through 6 NFL seasons, Wirfs has been named to 5 Pro Bowls. He's earned 2 first-team All-Pro nods, along with the second-team All-Pro nod. He's universally heralded as one of the NFL's most dominant and reliable blockers. As long as he continues to perform at the Hall of Fame level we become accustomed to, he's sure to take home that award at some point in his career. Took a step back last year. Definitely was not 100%. Had some good games, but once again, he was not the real Tristan Wirfs, so hopefully he can return to that form of not only being the best left tackle in the game, but one of the best tackles in the game. Do you think that's likely? I actually think that's also likely. I'll go 7 and 8 on that. Am I being too much of an eternal optimist when it comes to this team? Maybe I am. What do you guys think? Put the comments there in the box on Bucs Latest. Now here's the next one, guys. You're going to love this. Baker Mayfield for MVP. Baker Mayfield was a mainstay in MVP conversations through the first half of last season after leading the Bucs to a 6-2 record. Now, the team collapsed down the stretch, inexplicably missing the playoffs with an 8-9 record. Mayfield's individual performance suffered as he played through multiple injuries, but Mayfield is more than capable of replicating, if not surpassing, the elite play he flashed early last season to do so. He'll need better injury luck across the roster. Last year, he didn't play a single game with his full offensive line intact, and the wide receiver room was decimated by injuries as well. Most importantly, he'll need to avoid the injuries that plagued him last season. If that happens, Mayfield could easily return the MVP caliber form and become the first Tampa Bay Buccaneer to ever be named the NFL MVP, which, by the way, it should have been Tom Brady in 2021. But that's neither here nor there. It should have been him, but it wasn't. Had a great year. Look at the numbers, kids. But I think this is more likely than both of those awards at this point because, again, Mayfield has something to prove. If he has a healthy offensive line, if he has his full complement of wide receivers, if you have your running game back, again, with Mayfield and that chip on his shoulder, I think the sky is the limit, and he could return to MVP type of form because of Zach Robinson being the offensive coordinator. I'm going to go 9 to 10 on that. What do you guys think? Put the comments there in the box on Bucs Latest here on the Fan Arch Network. Now let's move on to our final story of the day here in care of our friends there from Joe Bucs Fan. Sean King was on the JB Coach Show there talking about Baker Mayfield. And he's had some things to say about Mayfield in the past, especially when Mayfield talked about Kevin Stefanski. He kind of said in so many words, Mayfield should just be quiet. Now, this is what he had to say about the contract situation involving Baker Mayfield. I get both sides of this because I'm objective. If you're Baker, you're talking about $40 million salary in 2026. Shoot, Tua just signed for $50 million. Baker's way more competent than some of those guys making $50 million. He's correct. So his agent and him got every right to say, we want an extension at that level. If you're the Bucs, Baker, you single-handedly cost us the playoffs last year down the stretch by turning the football over. Remember all those games the Bucs lost in the last 2 minutes because Baker, GD, was turning the ball over. I can't say it, but he was turning the ball over. That's what King said. So you're like, we got the ultimate trump card, the franchise tag. That's what the Bucs are holding over Baker's head. We don't want to give you no big-term extension. Push comes to shove, we'll put the franchise tag on you, not 1 year, but 2. He's exactly right. They do have that power to do that. That's why I think they do come to some type of agreement. But if it doesn't happen, again, the Bucs can wait this out the next 2 years and franchise tag him, and still Baker gets paid and you get a 1-year contract. Now, is that what Mayfield wants? More than likely not, but King does make some good points there with Mayfield struggling when it came to his play last year, whether it was injury or not. You've got to get better play out of Baker Mayfield. So what do you think about former quarterback Sean King's comments there? Put those comments in the box on Bucs Latest here on the Fan Arch Network, and we'll wrap it up for another edition of Bucs Latest. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And, of course, for Bucs Nation and Go Bucs fans, it's your time. We'll see you next time here on Bucs Latest. And as we say on a Wednesday, Go Bucs.